Hi, this is Dave from Angelo's Auto. A few years ago I purchased this. It is a quadcopter. I'm here with my son David. Say hi, David.
Hi.
We had a problem with this last year. I tried shooting some video in Warsaw Falls, and it has a place where the camera gets mounted right here. And in the ravine I was in, these things operate with GPS. And I couldn't get GPS lock, so it was very difficult to fly. But for some reason I was getting ready to take off in the creek on a dry section, and it went up like this, and it went floop, flipped right over in the creek and got all wet. And now it smells like something burnt in there. So we're gonna take this apart and see if we can figure out what how it works and what burned up. So have fun watching. What do you think? You ready? Take it apart? Yeah, so we took one of the landing gears off right here, and then I noticed the wire was inside the landing gear here, and this is actually the antenna. It's really tiny Phillips screws were actually in there. David didn't think we can get them out, but we got them out. And so that actually is sticking right in there, if you see that. So we got that unscrewed, and then we can slide this landing gear out. I can show how small the screw is. Well, that's a small screw. Can you see it? Oh, this stuff is tiny.
Huh.
This is a tiny chip thing. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna set that over here. Pull this through. Landing gears off. Okay, so we took most of the screws out, the cover off right here. You can see where the battery is right here. We actually took the screws out of here, but I think this will still turn on. Yeah, there it goes. These things, when they fly at night, they look really neat because they have all these lights, and they look really neat.
It's dead.
So it's ready to come apart because we took all the screws out of it. But we noticed too that the blades, even though there's different colors, these blades are different from these. And what did you notice with the back ones too?
The back ones, both of them, with the back and front. So the front ones, the bottom blades point each other, and with the bottom with the red point each other too.
So every blade is different. So if you're putting this together, you got to be really careful which one goes in what position when you put them on.
These are the same, and these are the same.
Then we noticed taking it apart, it has little tiny cracks in it. So we crashed it way too many times. That's what it looks like underneath. It's really cool looking.
Us? You mean you?
Oh, well, you never crashed it?
No.
Not once?
I always pressed home.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm too risky. I'm kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm
You do on pro mode and you do flips. Remember that time it landed in the tree?
No way. Really?
Yeah.
What about yours?
I pressed home and it
What
crashed.
happened to the little ones I bought you?
They crashed.
We found one though.
The little ones are hard to control.
Okay, so we're gonna take the battery out. I'm gonna shut it off here. Pull this battery out. Get real close here. It's kind of hard to unplug. Try. I think should we take that top off first or the bottom off first?
Top. No, the bottom is, then you can see the chip easily.
Right.
here.
Oh, the motor.
Wheels, yeah.
So the motor's holding it in there. So this really should come out. There's one there.
Come on.
Oh, there we go. Wow, check it out.
This must be the battery.
No, that's I think that's the motor driver. Not sure if that what smells. Does it smell?
It might be this because that looks like it burned.
Look inside this thing. Look at that. So these things have built-in GPS antennas. I think that's the GPS there. A very smart circuit board. What happened? It would turn on, get satellite lock and everything, but the motors don't work. So someone told me there's a...
Is there a way we can take this part out?
Probably. There's a motor driver in here.
Oh yeah, I see some screws right there.
That drives
the small one over here.
the motors. We notice taking this apart, there's a bubble right here. Like something overheated and melted the plastic right there. Maybe. Oh yeah, look at, check that out.
Holy.
Smell it. There's a smell right there.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually see what happened when we flipped it over in the creek. I think there was too much moisture in this area, and it actually burned up the plastic. It looks like a power transistor right there for one of these motors.
Let me see.
Is what stopped working.
Let's go get the big panel chip out.
You want to take the big chip out next? Did you too?
No. Can you get the flashlight?
We should get this off first. What do you think? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh.
You know what's cool about a video? We're gonna know how to put this back together.
Yeah.
So it's Phillips in there? What do you got?
Yeah. Oops.
What a cool thing with this quadcopter is that it had it's ready to fly, so it came with its own remote, and you put the battery, you're ready to go. And the remote had, let me grab it here.
It doesn't seem like it wants to come out, Dad.
It had different fly modes right here, and one's beginner, intermediate, and expert. The coolest thing with this, I always wanted a remote control plane or helicopter, but you crash them. You don't, you know, these things are, any remote control plane is pretty expensive, a nice one. And once a guy told me that this thing lands by itself, so if you lose orientation where you're at, you simply hold this and it levels off and comes right back where it took off. It's the coolest thing ever. And it came with this nice remote right here. You know, simply you turn it on and you can fly this thing, and it's amazingly easy. Had a lot of fun with it. So it looks like this is the main motherboard here he's pulling out. All sorts of little connectors in there.
You want to take these out?
No, let's just look at it, see if it looks burned up, because I don't think we have to take it apart. Looks like a little tiny antenna right here.
That's probably...
That's where the switch, so the on and off switch is mounted to that. It looks really good. Doesn't look like any damages to it. So I think this is the biggest issue here. Was check the other ones, see if they're burned up too.
This burned right here. We're gonna.
Are the other ones burned at all? This one smells okay. Is that one burned up?
That one smells like... No, that's just... No.
So it looks like the only problem is this one. So we're gonna call the company, see how much one of these are, and we'll put this thing, fix it, put it back together. Any other parts broken?
No.
Yeah, David wants to show you how many screws there are. Show how many screws you have here. These are lithium polymer batteries. There's actually liquid inside of these things. And they're very, very flammable. They actually recommend to move them in special enclosed packets they have that are more or less fireproof. The amount of energy these put out are just amazing. You need special chargers for them and everything, but they last a long time and they put out ungodly amounts of power. That's what they use in a lot of these higher tech toys nowadays, like them hoverboards and everything. The screws we had, they actually, it's a Torx. It's a very small Torx screwdriver set. This is a set we got at Radio Shack. Small little set there. This actually extends, and this is the one tip. If you look at it, it's a really fine special screwdriver. It's not Phillips, it's a little Torx tip. You drop like 6 of them. I heard every single one.
I won.
Come here, look at. See, one of them in the crack too. So come here and tell them how many screws you got.
There are 52 screws. If you don't like unscrewing a lot of things, I would suggest for you to take this apart.
So you see how little holes in the back. That was in our time lapse. Our first time lapse we ever did. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try and order the parts, and we're gonna put it together. Right?
Yep.
You gonna put together?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put it together. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, it might take a while to get the parts.
Oh,
Okay. But tune in. We'll wait for the parts to come in, and we'll get this together and hopefully fly it. Bye.